Seeing Sally look at the crystals, Rick said, "Those are mana crystals, and they provide light when mana is inserted into them." After traveling for a bit, the tunnel sharply turned. The length was the same as when they first entered the tunnel. They passed by merchants on their way into the city. At the end of the tunnel, it opened up into the city proper. All Sally could do was be amazed by everything she saw. The buildings were vastly different compared to the town she lived in. A big difference was how clean everything looked. There were plenty of people casually walking around as they appeared calm and happy. "There are so many people here," she stated to Rick. Chuckling at her wonder, Rick said, "Compared to the large city in the kingdom and empire, we are very small regarding how many people there are. The size of this city is several times larger than the largest city." Sally continued to stare at all the people as she listened to Rick. There wasn't the same feeling of struggle and hopelessness that she became used to on these people's faces. Each one looked like they were walking around with a sense of purpose, even if they were casually relaxing in front of a cafe, drinking tea. She enjoyed the smells of delicious foods being cooked or baked. "When we finish at the welcome office, I will take you to the shopping district, where we can get some food to eat," Rick told her. "District? What's that?" The Master of Felicitas separated the city into 5 districts, each having their specialization. The current section we are in is the housing district, where those who have just arrived in the city and residents live. There are several small shops for those looking to grab something to eat or items they need. In the center of the city are many of the governmental buildings, such as the welcome office, Rick explained to Sally. Several people called out to Rick, asking if he was finished with work and if he wanted to head to the shopping district to get some beer. Rick would shout back he was still working, but to save him a seat if he was able to make it. The people here seemed to be very friendly and welcoming as they laughed and chatted with one another. It felt like a warm place to live in. Sally looked in front of them and saw a rectangular building with no windows. It was the largest building by far compared to the other ones, and almost rivaled the walls surrounding the city. "Mister, what is that building there?" she asked Rick. Looking at where Sally was indicating, he said, "That is the stronghold, where the master of the city resides. It is where all those who follow him also live." "Why are there no windows?" she followed up. Scratching his helmet, Rick answered, "No one knows why the stronghold has no windows. Some think that it is for protection against those that would wish him harm. Others think that it is related to the challenge he sent out to adventurers, stating that anyone that reaches a certain floor will receive a reward. With such a challenge, having windows would defeat the purpose of the challenge, so the master did not include any." "The master challenged adventurers to enter the stronghold?" she questioned, thinking that this was a silly thing to do. Why would a noble ask adventurers to infiltrate his home? Understanding what Sally was thinking, he chuckled. "The master is a very powerful mage, and his followers are just as powerful. There is no one in this world that would be able to fight against him." Rick's voice was overflowing with admiration. At the end of the district, there was a building with a sign that said, "Welcome Office." It was a pure white building, with trees and flowers placed in front of it. Sally thought that it was such a pretty building, and thought that it accurately portrayed the city's priorities as being a warm and friendly place. When the wagon stopped in front of the office, Sally and Rick got off and walked inside. The interior was open, with a large window on the ceiling facing the sky. In front of them was a large table with several people waiting behind it. Each of the workers had a cheerful smile and looked happy to see Sally. Rick motioned for Sally to go ahead towards the counter. When she reached the counter, one of the workers asked her, "Hello, how may I help you today?" I want to become a citizen of Felicitas, Sally said in a shy voice. Is this your first time inside of the city? The lady asked Sally. Seeing Sally nod her head, the woman said, Well, I would first like to tell you, welcome to Felicitas. We are happy that you have decided to make this wonderful city your home, and we hope that you enjoy your stay. All we need from you is your name and your age. My name is Sally, and I'm 15 years old, she answered. Hello, Sally. I'm glad to meet you, the lady said cheerfully. You'll be living inside Building G in room 45, she said. If you proceed to the room to the outside of you, we will create your citizenship card. Your card will also be what you use to enter into your room. How do I pay for the room? Sally asked, sounding concerned. She remembered how she was kicked out from her home after her mother had passed away. Being homeless, she hadn't had the ability to raise any money aside from what she was able to steal, so she was worried when the woman talked about a room to live in. The lady smiled understandingly and said, Sally, there is nothing to worry about. Your room will be provided to you at no cost. As long as you are a citizen of Felicitas, you will not have to worry about whether you will have a place to sleep. Sally was stunned after hearing what the lady had said. Who ever heard about a city that allowed the people living inside not require money for housing? These thoughts went through Sally's mind as she headed to the side room. Inside of this room, there was a nice-looking man sitting behind a desk. She stood there as he talked to the lady that Sally had previously talked to. The woman looked back to her and waved a hand before leaving the room. Hello, Sally. I'll be creating your card today. If you look at this tube, I'll use the crystal inside to take an image of your face and place it on your card. The man gently told her and guided Sally to where she needed to stand. The process was very quick, and shortly after, Sally had her first official citizenship card. She went to where Rick was sitting, looking a little silly in his full armor inside such a comfortable-looking lobby. I see that you are finished with getting registered, Rick said cheerfully. Let us head to some place where we can get a delicious and hot meal, he suggested. When we get back, they should have your room ready with the necessities. What do you mean? She asked him. Raising a finger to where his mouth would be, Rick said, It'll be a surprise.